I would like to point out that 897A, which I assume concerns caging, though caging is not mentioned. If this is passed as written, the village garden is over. Census, the caging in the village garden.
We thought we were fixing it, but we still didn't fix it.
You sure did. You made it just as bad.
We tried to take it out.
Which one was it? A, page 7A.
Yeah.
8-7.
If you'd ever looked at those cages, you would see that we have a group of trees, and the cage goes around the group, and inside those there's bushes, shrubs. Shrubs don't grow like this,
Okay,
they grow
we'll
like
change it.
this.
Okay, that's easy.
How? Eliminate the whole
Probably.
A.
Let's take it out. See if we can take it out.
You're taking 8, 9,
Well,
7,
we'll see if we can take it out.
Or modify it.
Modify it.
We tried to modify
We
it.
tried to modify it so it would include what you're asking for.
But you didn't.
Okay.
1 out of 2 isn't bad.
Yeah, so you-
We tried,
You know, a lot of that's your money
we
too.
really tried to accommodate that. All right, yeah, there's a hand there, I can't see who it is.
It's me, Carol Lieberman,
Carol.
406 Greenbrier. I appreciate what
Carol, would you
Bruce,
stand up, honey?
I
Thank you.
appreciate what Bruce Rivera just said, because I think he's right, that there are these competing feelings, and I look at this ordinance, and I see the deer fences as being the whole issue, instead of addressing the fact that the character of the community has changed, and it's not just with deer fences. And so I really believe that more should be done. I like the idea of a task force, because we could do far more, I think, to find ways to protect the trillium and other flora without fences. We could look into some of those issues, do more with caging, and perhaps do more in terms of an ordinance that dealt with all the other fences that go up that aren't deer fences, but they certainly are destroying the character of at least this area.
Thank you. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
Joe McGowan, 716 Ringland. I think most of you know where I'm coming from. We have a deer fence. We have extensive gardens, which we've invested 40 years in. We also, if you ever want to do a deer count, come down Ringland Road. I promise you, every single day, you will see 10 to 15 deer. They nest there, they graze there, we feed them, we love the deer. Okay, so I appreciate what a number of you people on the board have acknowledged is a very, very sensitive, difficult issue. But I want to tell you that, and I have not missed a meeting of the Planning Commission or a meeting of the board on these discussions. But I want to, I'm confused, and I'm not looking for answers tonight. I just like to throw out a couple of things that I just find very perplexing. That if I were on a board and dealing with an issue like this, the first issue I'm confused by is to say that there is only one permitted deer fence in the village. And I'm not here to debate it. You know, the village is right and we're wrong. We put a deer fence up 12 years ago. We talked to the village. There was nothing in the ordinance that said that we needed a permit to put up. We did it. So I don't understand. And in fact, 3 or 4 or 5 meetings ago, someone read something that acknowledged that there was nothing in effect. So that's my first question. The second
Let's
question.
answer the first question.
I'm sorry?
Let's answer the first question. The fence can only be 6 feet high, is what our ordinance says.
I think what he's
That's
saying.
if it's a structure, I think that was the gray issue, that there was a question that a deer
A
fence.
fence always,
Russ said it at a previous board meeting
Right.
6 years ago, that the deer fence does not require a permit because it is not a structure.
that's not
So,
true.
That is true.
No, it's true, he said that, but it may not be.
Yeah,
He
it
may have
may
been
be
wrong.
true that he said it, he said it in error because
But,
people make
you know,
mistakes.
I'm sorry.
Correct.
Yeah.
And he
it
said
may
that's
be
wrong.
an error, but nobody challenged it.
I don't
Which is
remember
the
saying-
unfortunate part of our history, is that it developed into this gray
Okay,
issue.
let him finish, go ahead.
I'm a humble citizen. And legally, I may be wrong. We contacted the village, they said you could put this up. Okay, so that's
No,
what,
no, 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 no. Jesus.
what,
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
we asked the village, do we need a permit? They said no. You can go ahead and put up a deer fence. I look at this ordinance and it says, amending the village code to provide regulations concerning fences. Okay? Now, what really confuses me, my understanding of this when I go through all of this is that I can put up a 6-foot fence anywhere I want.
With a permit.
Right. I can put up wherever I want. So I can put it right up on the front of my road. And this gets back to what these gentlemen were saying earlier.
Joe, that's not, the ordinance does, one of the things the planning commission did do was say you can't have a solid fence in your front yard.
But I could,
It has to be only 4 feet high, so they were trying to address
but
this
I
issue.
could put up a wrought iron fence,
Absolutely.
cyclone fence, and I would submit to anyone in this room, aesthetics, what is more visible? A wrought iron fence, a cyclone fence, or a deer fence? But this is saying you can't do this with a deer fence. The meeting on February 2nd, the issue was raised, there was something in here, and a motion did not pass. A deer fence has to be this color, but other fences can be whatever colors that they want. I don't get it. I mean, when you cut through all of this is not a fencing ordinance at large for the village. This is to really penalize and restrict deer fencing. And I just think it's not really dealing with the issues. And there's some clauses in here, you know, if people acted in good faith, they're preserving the natural habitat, and they're doing everything. They're removing all the garlic mustard, the buckthorn, they're protecting the trillium and whatnot. And now all of a sudden, we come along and say, you know what? You got to do this or that. It's not reasonable. I don't think it's a win-win, fair for village and resident. And I think that's the perspective that and I want to tell you, with all due respect, you know, the limited number of people that have attended these meetings and the planning commission are people who love this village. They've been here forever. They really care about protecting the investment they've made over the years.
This is where I'm trying to work.
No,
this
and Bill,
out.
and God love you. I really, I respect you
I
for that.
agree with you.
But I don't hear the opponents. I hear, where's the opposition? You know, nobody is suggesting we're going to go out and start culling deer. You know, we're going to shoot them down. I don't, you know, I just haven't heard the opposition. So to me, it's very, very frustrating.
The ordinance allows you to keep what you have.
Right.
Okay. I think that's very important. The people who buy your place will have to change. You don't have to. That's a major difference. If we don't do this ordinance, then, in my opinion, you should have to take down your deer fence. I don't want you to do that.
Not for 90 days,
Well, you know, but that's where the difference is. So this is a compromise. We're trying to accommodate you. You can have your deer fence the way it is now. Don't change it. Now, what do you want?